Welcome back to the FlipNerd.com REI Classroom, where experts from across the real estate investing industry teach you quick lessons to take your business to the next level. And now, let's meet today's expert host.
Hey guys, this is Brian Meara, founder of the Investor Entourage, here with another exciting lesson to teach you today about how to properly and quickly analyze a deal.
This REI Classroom real estate lesson is sponsored by VirtualStaffNow.com.
All right, guys, when we talk about analyzing a deal, specifically a short sale, there are really only two things that we need. Now, if you are working closely with the listing agent on a short sale, or if you are the listing agent, there's two things that we need as a company, as the Investor Entourage, what we do together to quickly analyze a deal. We need answers to a set of questions. We actually have specifically 14, and we ask for two very specific sets of comps, and we're going to review that here right now. All right, let's get into the questions first. Number one, we want to know, are the payments being made on the mortgage, of course? And if not, when did they stop? Question number one. Number two, has the bank filed a notice of default yet? Now, you would know because this would come via certified mail. They would nail something or, tape something to the door. So we would know if there's a notice of default, okay? Is there a sheriff's sale or an auction date yet? And if so, when is it? We want to know the mortgage company or the bank and servicer name. And we want to know basically how many loans they have. All right, so is there a first? Is there a second? And then some follow-up information. It's nice to collect up front. You don't need this right away, but we ask for the loan number. All right. The reason for that is we want to look up sometimes immediately when we talked about another training to see if it's a Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac loan. We want to know, are the taxes being paid with the mortgage payment every month, or are they being escrowed, or is the homeowner required to pay them on their own? We also want to know if there's a homeowner or a condo association and if they're current. Are there any other judgments or liens that the seller is aware of? For example, do they owe back child support payments? Do they have some alimony that's due? Credit cards, judgments, back taxes, etc. These are things that are going to need to be addressed when we're working a short sale, because in order to get free and clear marketable title, all of these things must be addressed. So we like to know up front when we're analyzing the deal exactly where we stand. All right, moving right along. Is the house currently listed on the market with a realtor? If so, what is the list price? When was it listed? And how has the showing activity been? Let me stop and talk about that one for a minute because it's very important. Number one, all short sales by law must be listed on the open market. So if you're working a short sale, you think, I'm just going to short sale this house, I'm going to put together my offer and send it into the bank, they're probably going to make you list it. You could pend it right away. Most times you have to list it and you can mark it pending or under contract right away, but it still has to be listed. It's just a law. It's just a rule. Once in a while, you'll find that you don't have to do that, but 99% of the time, plan on doing that. So if it is listed, we want to know some of the background information. The next question is, following right along, have any offers or contracts been presented to the bank yet on this deal? If so, how much was the offer and what was the bank's response? See, guys, we care, but we don't care. And let me explain. Most realtors have no clue what they're doing when it comes to short sales. I'm a realtor, and I can tell you that. Okay, it's not a mean statement. We, as a collective, are not trained to do short sales. When you go to real estate school, there's no part on short sales, maybe a little tiny chapter, if that. Wasn't even anything in it in my school. And you're not trained to negotiate first lien, second lien position, FHA versus VA. You don't know the rules. I mean, that's not your job. Generally, attorneys are doing that stuff. Well, what happened is with the downturn in the housing crash, all of a sudden, realtors, listing agents specifically, had to learn how to become bank negotiators. And it didn't work out real good. Now, yes, they got the job done. And over the years, people have gotten better. But it's still something that we find that they make a lot of mistakes in. They listed too high. They listed too low. They send in the right offer. They send in more than one offer. Many different problems we're not here to talk about today. But we want to know the history of what's going on so we can see what the bank has already been looking at. Now, that's why we care. Why we don't care is because we have a very set process in how we do things that we know works. So again, we're going to draw a line and start over regardless of what's been done, but we want to know a little bit of history about that, okay? We want to know, does the house need work? And if so, how much? And are there any major repairs needed, guys, such as a roof, the foundation, electrical, etc.? We want to know because this is going to determine value from the very beginning. How do you know how much to offer? Well, of course, you're going to look at comps. And you're going to want to know, well, what kind of work does the house need? And then the bank has to know this. Yes, they're going to send out and do a BPO, which is a broker price opinion, which is like a mini appraisal, let's say, or they're going to order a full-blown appraisal. But with your offer, you want to send in some supporting documentation. And one of the things you want to send in is a repair estimate. And so to analyze a deal at the very beginning, which is what we're talking about, We want to know up front if the house needs work, and if so, how much, okay? We also want to know who's on the title, the deed, who's on the actual mortgage, and who signed the promissory note. This is important because we need to know, guys, if all parties are around to be able to sign the paperwork. A lot of times you'll find these short sales happen when there's a divorce. And if someone, cut and run or moved to the other side of the country and they're not really on the best terms, let's say, that could cause a problem for your deal. You want to know that up front. We want to know, has the homeowner or the owner of record ever filed for a bankruptcy? If so, when? Was it a Chapter 7 or 13? And where do we stand right now? Has it been dismissed? We want to know, was this a primary residence or an investment property? And we want to know if it's currently vacant or if they're still living there. They're the questions that we ask up front for every deal to completely understand and get a very brief yet very accurate snapshot of what's going on with the house. When it comes to the comps, part 2, we want 2 very specific sets of comps. We want to know the 3 lowest comps of like apples to apples, all right? You want to compare the same number of bedrooms in the same style of house in the same area. We say go back 6 months in time and don't go out more than a mile. These are general regulations. 6 months in time, 1 mile, same number of bedrooms. We don't really care about bathrooms, all right? We want to take a look at the 3 lowest comps, and we basically average them out. We then want to look at the average comps, not the highest, but what the houses are really selling for. We say in today's market in its current condition, without doing any work to it, just a 30-day quick sale value. And what we're trying to do is we average that with the low comps, and we try and find a range of around $40,000. If we see an average spread on paper of $40,000 plus between the average of the 3 low comps and the average of the 3 average comps, we're going to know we have a thumbs up on the deal. So if everything checks out on the questions, everything checks out on the comps, we can then proceed with the deal. And that's how we can quickly analyze any deal in 5 minutes. So I hope that helps. And until the next one, we'll see you soon.
VirtualStaffNow.com is the leading virtual assistant provider for real estate investors. As busy real estate investors, there's nothing more valuable than our time. And VirtualStaffNow.com not only helps you find the right real estate virtual assistant for your business, they train them on an ongoing basis, manage them daily to make sure they're staying productive and effective. And in the event they're not the right fit or need to be replaced, they handle that for you too. Whether you need 1 or 100 virtual assistants for your team, start the process right now at VirtualStaffNow.com. Please note, the views and opinions expressed by the individuals in this program do not necessarily reflect those of FlipNerd.com or any of its partners, advertisers, or affiliates. Please consult professionals before making any investment or tax decisions, as real estate investing can be risky. Are you a member yet of FlipNerd.com, the hottest real estate investing social community online? If not, you can join for free in less than 30 seconds and get access to hundreds of off-market deals, vendors in your market to help you in your business. And you can start networking with thousands of other investors just like you. Get your free account now at FlipNerd.com. Please check out the FlipNerd family of real estate investing shows, where we host 4 great ongoing shows at FlipNerd.com/shows, or simply search for FlipNerd in the iTunes Store.